How many of you have ever had a bad day? At work and at home. Well, imagine this scenario. It's Friday morning, and Friday morning starts with something like this. No, I don't want it cut like that. No! Is it just me, or have you too noticed that little kids can have a major meltdown if your toast that you've cut for them, or their sandwich is just cut slightly different than it was the day before? I mean, it's a major trauma. Well, and then it moves on to this. You're scrambling around to get your kids off to daycare or to school, and the harder you work to get them to move fast, the more you have to compare them to a stationary object to see if they're actually moving. You finally get them out the door, you're already exhausted, you drop them off, you dump them at the school, but the fun is not over yet. No, it's far from over, because now you get to work and you're late.
Kids with ADHD or autism want to be independent. Try Goalie, the visual scheduler that guides them through routines so you don't have to. Goalie, reinventing routines.
And your boss pulls you into his office, he shuts the door, slams the door, and he says something really sarcastic and nasty like this. Well, if you don't start getting yourself here on time, you won't have to worry about it anymore. Oh boy. This actually happened to a couple I met at one of these conferences. And you know, they followed me out to my car afterwards. I couldn't get away from them. They're describing how their 3-year-old and their 7-year-old are making them late for work almost every day. They can't get the kids ready in the morning. Now, how many of you have ever experienced that fun little thing? Oh boy, it's a common problem. And they're describing that I'm tired, I'm getting irritable, and I wasn't real nice, but I said, why don't you just buy the book, right? And they did. See, I have a great job. I really do. Because I get to meet so many wonderful people who care about their kids and hear about how they've used some of this and maybe experimented and modified it a bit and changed their lives with their kids. Well, I get a letter from Mom. And it starts like this. I did what you said. I bought the book. And I went home. And that night I said to my husband, I said, tonight's your night with the kids. I've got reading to do. And I went in the bathroom, I locked the door, and I read that whole book in 2 hours. And apparently, as she was reading that book, she realized something. She said, I realized that my husband and I were spending all of our time and all of our energy trying to control what we couldn't control in a million years. Therefore, we had no time or energy left over to control what we really could. Now, I'm going to say some things about kids, and I want you to yell out, control, if you can control them beyond a shadow of a doubt, without anybody's help. So let's hear it. Control. Great.
For families living with ADHD or autism, preventing meltdowns is everything. Goalie reduces stress by enabling kids to complete routines independently. Goalie, reinventing routines.
Now I'm going to say some things, and if you don't think you can control them, I want you to yell out, wish. Let's hear it. Wish. I wish I could, but I can't. How about this? Whether your kids brush their teeth. If you have any inkling of doubt, it is a wish. And I'm talking about legal means of control. How about whether your kids eat their vegetables? Wish. How about whether they whine? Wish. How about whether they put the car seats on, seatbelt on there? Right. Well, wait a second. You hit on it. It is a wish. Can we control whether we put the seatbelt on? Control. And see, that's what Mom realized. Thank you. She realized the only thing that I can actually control is what I do. The only thing my husband can control is what he does. Let's hear some more. How about whether you give them dessert? How about whether you take them to places they want to go? Oh, there you go. See, you guys already knew that, didn't you? You already knew that the only thing that you can control is what you do. not what the kid does. But isn't it interesting how we forget about that in our day-to-day lives? Do some parents train their kids not to listen? What happens when I tell a resistant kid what to do? Let's say I have my kids and I'm trying to get them ready in the morning and I say, hurry up. How long does it take these two kids to prove to me, themselves, and the entire universe that I have absolutely no power? Nanosecond. Boom. How about this one? Eat. For crying out loud, eat. There are starving kids in Afghanistan right now that would like to have that food. How long does it take that kid to prove to me that I have no power? A nanosecond.
Kids with ADHD or autism want to be independent. Try Goalie, the visual scheduler that guides them through routines so you don't have to. Goalie, reinventing routines.
Here's the logic. Every time we tell a strong-willed kid or a potentially resistant kid what to do, we risk training them not to listen. Because we can't follow through, can we? Good news. Good news. Mom also learned a little trick for focusing on the controllable. It's called the enforceable statement. It's a way of setting limits that we can actually enforce or follow through with.